Now, here's meteorologist Pete Mangione with your live Pinpoint Doppler 12 Futurecast.
All right, so we already checked in with the North Carolina coast, and we saw that Earl is about to hurl itself onto them.
Well put, yeah.
And then, on top of it, not only are we going to get this rain, but it's really hot out there. We've got a lot of things going on here.
Yeah, exactly. Temperatures approaching the 90s again, and of course we have the arrival of Hurricane Earl. So let's get right to it. Here is Earl, and you can still see he is very impressive looking. Now notice how the center of the storm, or the eye, is shrinking up just a little bit over the past few hours. This is what we call an eye wall replacement cycle. Doesn't mean the storm is going to weaken. In fact, I do expect it to stay strong over the next 24 hours, or maybe 12 to 24 hours before weakening as it passes by New England. But it will still be a very strong hurricane, or a strong storm, as it makes its way towards our neck of the woods. Right now, a Category 4 storm, winds 138 miles an hour, 760 miles from Newport. We'll put up the track of this in just a few minutes. A new update shows that we have a hurricane warning in effect for southeastern Massachusetts. Now, this was previously a watch, and I'll show you exactly where that warning is in just a second. A warning means that hurricane conditions are imminent. A watch means that there is a potential, so that is an upgrade from the forecast center. The height of the storm moving in tomorrow night through early Saturday morning. Heavy rain and very strong winds likely. We'll talk about exact wind speeds in just a few minutes. So here is that area of the hurricane warning from Westport, Massachusetts to Cape Cod and the islands. And even here in Rhode Island, we have a tropical storm warning across the South Shore. So even though it doesn't look like this will be a direct hit, conditions are really going to go downhill with gusty winds, very heavy rain, and even a small change in the track of the storm, maybe 20 miles, could change things where we would actually have to move that hurricane warning further into Rhode Island. So stay tuned. A lot could change with this storm. Right now in Providence, 91 degrees, extremely humid out there. Winds out of the southwest 8 miles an hour. Dew points approaching the 70s, and that's why you have that sticky feel in the air. Temperatures running in the low 90s for the most part. 88 in Smithfield, a little cooler here in Newport with 83 degrees, westerly 85. And Block Island already starting to get a few breezes developing from the south. They are still in the upper 70s. For this afternoon, the last day of the heat wave, a bit muggier temperatures, right around 95 degrees for high temperatures, and then a big change in our weather pattern starts for tomorrow and especially into the weekend. We go hour by hour on our Futurecast. We are going to stay dry tonight all the way through early tomorrow morning. So we go into tomorrow morning, and notice how I'm still expecting conditions to be dry for the commute. By late morning, early tomorrow afternoon, that's where the rain starts to move in. You can see the green represents the lighter precipitation. The yellow represents the heavier bands from Earl. And I think the rain really is coming down by tomorrow night into Saturday morning. We'll put up expected amounts in just a second. First, though, another look at Hurricane Earl, still a Category 4 storm. You can see the track taking off to the north and northwest right now. Now, over the next 12 hours, I think it stays a Category 4 storm, and then it'll bend off to the east and weaken slightly as another system from the west grabs onto it. However, it's still a Category 2, possibly a Category 1 hurricane, as it makes a very close pass. Right now, we're expecting about 20 miles to the southeast of Nantucket. Of course, this could change. Here's our cone of uncertainty, so something we'll have to watch very carefully. And then by Saturday morning, it's actually to the north of us. Now, on Saturday, we could still get some leftover waves and gusty winds as the storm pushes away. Now, I have adjusted this wind map a little bit from earlier this morning. This 73-plus wind gust area now actually shifted further off to the west. This extends into Westport, Massachusetts. And even in the areas where we're not expecting these type of winds, still 40 to 60 for most of Rhode Island. And keep in mind, if you're along the coast, you could see the stronger winds. So you'd be closer to the higher end of these categories if you're in places like coastal Rhode Island and coastal Massachusetts. And again, a lot of rain expected. So hurricane conditions for southeastern Massachusetts starting tomorrow afternoon. Tropical storm conditions for coastal Rhode Island. Seas, very big, 20 to 30 feet offshore. A lot of waves to watch as we go into tomorrow evening. Just be careful. You're urged not to actually jump out into the water. Rip currents, rough surf. 2 to 5 inches of rain possible tomorrow night into Saturday morning. Most of us getting between about 2 and 3, but some isolated areas could get between 3, 4, maybe 5 inches of rain if you happen to be stuck under one of those bands from Earl. And a wind gust between 40 and 70 miles an hour possible in Rhode Island. You can see once we get through Earl, much more comfortable. Saturday, 82 degrees, and Sunday, 80 or 75 with mostly sunny skies. So a very active time here in the Weather Center over the next 24 hours. We will keep you updated.
All right, well, let's get back over to your computer, Pete. I know you've been very busy this morning. Thank you. Now here's